when she dips away, she's actually going on the forehand. What do horses do when they're on the forehand? To keep their balance so they don't fall on their face, they've got to lift their head and neck up, don't they? So often what we see happening with incorrect saddle fit in the front, the horse is actually dipping away, dropping through the thoracic sling, lifting their head up to keep balance, and what do we do as riders? Try and pull their head down with our hands. But they drop down through the thoracic sling because they can't physically come up through here. You can already see, she's like, oh, waking up again. You can already see that I can actually lift her up a tiny bit there without even doing anything, just giving her a little tummy tickle. I'm going to show you something else about her back in a second as well. She's offended now. She was having a nice snooze. So when you have a horse who's forever going around with their head up, you need to check what pressure your saddle is causing in the front, because often it's a reflex reaction for the horse to do that. They're on their forehand, they're tripping, they're stumbling, they're having to overuse their pectoral muscles. They usually end up with a big, bulgy underneck muscle. So this is the brachiocephalic muscle. So every time you see horses that are really big and thick here, underdeveloped there, underdeveloped there, they're usually overbuilt here and overbuilt in the pecs, it's because they can't actually use their thoracic sling correctly and come up between the shoulder blades and round their head. They're forced down onto their forehand and they have to lift their head up and pull with their front legs. So we have to think through these problems and work out why is it that the horse can't do the things that we're asking them to do. So I'm going to give you another little example of how all of this is interconnected. And it's something that I talk about a lot. People always want a horse to be on the bit and lifting its back up and coming through from behind, and that's really important for the horse. Horses, I hate to tell you, horses were not designed to carry human beings. They weren't built by nature to carry a weight in the center of their back. But, you know, we looked at them many thousands of years ago and went, well, that's a nice flat spot and they run faster than us. It'd be really handy if we could sit on that. But they weren't designed by nature to carry us. So often what we do to them is stop them being able to use their body the way they were built to use it. In order for them to carry a weight in the center of the back, it's really important that they round their back and lift up and engage their deep core muscle, lift up through their tummy muscles as well, and have a supported back, a nice round back. That in itself allows the horse to put its head and neck down and bring its hindquarters through. And I want you to try this. It always looks silly and everyone loves to laugh at me when I do this, but I want you to think about this. So imagine you're a horse, you've dropped through your trapezius muscle here, so you're overarching through your back. Already you can see where my neck wants to go. Now just try and get yourself on the bit for a second. How's that feeling? Let's try and move our front legs. Doesn't work really, does it? Oh, ow, and it hurts. So round your back like a horse bringing herself up through her thoracic sling. And already you can see how easy it is to put your head and neck down and how easy it is for us to swing through our front limbs. Think about the lower back. If I've got a horse who's dipping behind here, like this is my duck's bum, okay, dipping behind, how easy is it for me to bring a hind leg through? It's actually not easy at all. The horse needs to round its back and now it can bring it through. Try it at home. Honestly, I do this with kids all the time. When we do demonstrations, I get them to overarch, lift their head up, and let's see how they move. When you round your back, you've got the ability to swing your limbs freely, and the horse is no different in the way that she's built like that. She needs to be able to engage her tummy muscles, lift, then she can bring her hindquarters through. I'm going to do a little belly lift for you so you can see what happens. And I'm not sure, I know, sweetheart, she'll probably be offended because she really would like to have a snooze now. So I'm going to go around the other side and give her a little belly lift, and I want you to have a look and see what happens to her head when I do it. Okay, so let me just demonstrate a belly lift for you so you can understand the biomechanics of how a horse needs to lift its back in order for her to be able to lower her head and neck and engage her hindquarters to push forward. So we'll see if Bella will do this. Oh, you'll even see her head starting to drop down as I do it. So see how much her back changes shape just from starting to engage her core muscles. Now, if she could, I'd also get her to round through her hindquarters as well. And you'd actually see the horse really make this shape with her back. Now that's the shape she needs to make in order to be able to push from her hindquarters. So all of you guys out there whose horses are hollow with their back, dragging their toes along the ground, and you're always saying, oh my gosh, they're so lazy, they won't go forward. They can't go forward, they can't stretch their hind legs underneath them unless they're coming round through the back and lifting up underneath. So you really want to take some time to assess why they can't do it. They can't push from their hindquarters if their back is dropped.